He's angry about mortgages. It's Angry Mortgage. He's swearing. He's cursing loud. He's old. He's opinionated. And he's been doing this so damn long. This program is about mortgages, and this is mortgage advice, but the advice may not apply to your situation. Contact licensed mortgage professionals for specific recommendations before you make decisions about mortgages. You may not agree with Ron, but if you don't, he thinks you're wrong. Oh, and did we say there is a lot of swearing?
There's a very big historic pattern behind all these things when it comes to mortgage rates and interest rates.
Yep.
Okay. In the face of terrible financial disaster, economic disaster, contraction of the economy, massive unemployment, okay? There is an absolute pattern. The Bank of Canada cuts rates.
100%.
That's just a fact, right?
Yeah.
You know it. I know it. We all know it.
They have to protect us first. Inflation be damned. They'll deal with it later.
Currency be damned. You name it.
Currency
okay?
be damned.
Currency be damned.
Yeah.
Dollar goes to 58 cents. Who the hell knows? Okay. Which, by the way, helps with trade.
That's what I was saying. I mean, you know.
Anyway,
but
I'm not saying any of those things, but I'm just giving the pattern, which you are also familiar with.
Yeah.
Economic emergency, drastic unemployment, real economic contraction, GDP contracts 3%, 4%, 5%. Got to cut rates.
Yeah.
Might even do QE. We'll get to that later. Okay. Now, Ron, I guess we all take variable. Maybe.
Careful.
Yes,
Careful.
maybe. Okay. But the consideration there is there are going to be counter tariffs. Like the one thing that we've established so far is that our politicians want to fight.
Yeah.
Part of the reason that we're fighting so hard in Canada, there's a couple of great reasons, but there's also one big reason. It's a fucking election. It's an election.
Several elections.
Yeah,
Provincial
several.
and federal.
Yeah. It's multiple elections. And this is true whenever you're attacked. You ever been in a fist fight?
Once or twice?
Once or twice? Like,
yeah. I got a big nose. I got to be careful.
It's a long time. It's a long time for me, right? Like I'm old. I'm old, and I'm fat, and I'm soft, and I'm everything else. So I don't get many fist fights anymore. But
just in the office.
No,
sell more deals.
That's 100% untrue. Okay, that is totally false.
I'm
There's
kidding.
Never any fights in the office.
It's a very nice environment.
But I didn't say that. But there's no fights. Okay, so the reality is that in a fight, everybody's really mad at each other. Once the first fist flies, more fists fly, and then eventually either someone is knocked out or they decide, both parties decide, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm tired, I'm hurt, I'm bleeding a little, I don't want to do this. And inevitably, most people reflect back. I'd say 90% of people reflect back on the fight and say, what the fuck did we get in that fight for? That was stupid. Like, we shouldn't have been in a fight. It's crazy. We both got hurt. It's bad. But in an election, was that right? Was that most fights, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, it depends if it's, you're alone or there's other people to stop you too. But, I don't think anyone's going to step in between us to try and stop us from fighting in that situation.
But then we'll be sorry we fought.
Yeah, unless you're proud of it. But that doesn't happen that often.
Handful are proud, you're right.
Yeah.
But it's a small number.
Yeah.
So the reality of life is that in a fight, it's unlikely, we are fighting for political reasons because it's important. There's a couple of good reasons to fight too. The automotive thing is existential.
It is.
Right? It's existential. If the automotive industry in Canada is crushed, that's sort of the next piece is aerospace in Quebec. It's serious, right? You're taking out tens and tens of thousands of jobs. So you should fight. Okay. Is it the right tactic? We're going to find out, but certainly it's the first instinct. Also, the attack on Canada is also an attack on our sovereignty.
Yes.
Trump has never suggested Mexico become the 52nd state. Never, never, never.
Even though it's their second language, Spanish.
Listen, but that's the key. Yeah. There's no sovereignty infringement going on with Mexico at all. Not at all. It's just us and Greenland. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And a little bit of Panama. A little slice of Panama. Okay. You notice he only wants the canal. He doesn't want the country.
Just the economics.
So that's another reason to fight. If your sovereignty If someone says, I think you should just quit being a country, people are going to be pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
Rightly so.
Yeah.
Rightly so. They should be pissed off.
So back to variable rates.
Back to the rates. Okay. So the fight means that we will end up in an economic emergency eventually. We will end up in a very, very bad position. Now, the Bank of Canada reacts intelligently to that. They cut rates. They've hinted they don't want to cut rates as much as COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, but the thing too there is the cuts won't last 5 years. So if you take a 5-year variable, right, eventually your rate will go back up, right? So whether or not it goes up a little bit or a lot once inflation catches up, the same way it did after COVID, is totally up to how things play out the next couple of years. But
although it's fair to say that nobody who finds their variable rate going up to 7.5%, they basically feel like it's the same as a rectal exam. It ain't good. Okay,
probably worse.
So probably worse. So the reality of life is that if you're in fear of bad outcomes, even in the medium term, you could probably take fixed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we telling people take variable for a year or two and then switch, or are we telling people to go fixed or just be careful with variable? What do you think? What do you think people want?
Look, I mean, there is a potential for the Bank of Canada to drop to as much as like 1.25%.
Oh yeah,
which is a very, very attractive rate. And over a short term, you'll mint money on a variable. You will literally be paying off tons and tons of principal, and your interest component will be very small, which is a benefit to every mortgage borrower. Clearly a benefit, no doubt, right? But how long will it last?
Exactly.
If you like the pod, well, don't just sit there. Go to YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and all the other ones and like the pod. And don't forget to subscribe so we can keep being angry at mortgages and swearing about mortgages. Angry Mortgage could use your support.